Hey everyone, and welcome. You are officially tuned in to the very first episode of, drumroll please, Huddle at Home.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're actually doing this, Mason. We've talked about it for so long. Welcome, everybody. Seriously, we are so excited you're here with us.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey getting to this point, hasn't it, Nat? But we're finally here, and it just feels right. Like, we're just sitting around the kitchen table chatting.
Exactly. That's exactly the vibe we're going for. Just a super relaxed, candid chat about, well, life, our family, and of course, a whole lot of sports. So, yeah, settle in, grab a coffee or whatever you're drinking. We're just getting started.
And, when we say our life and our family, we mean it. For those of you who don't know us yet, I'm Mason.
And I'm Natalie, and we've been, together for almost 25 years now, right? It's kind of wild to think about.
Yeah, it's been definitely a minute. We've been married for, 22? So a long time. And, in that time, we've built quite the team.
Oh, we have. We've got 3 amazing, sometimes challenging, but always entertaining kids. Our oldest is, he's 20 now, already out of the house and in college, which is just wild. It feels like yesterday he was, just starting kindergarten.
Seriously. And then we have our 17-year-old who's, he's still very much at home navigating the whole senior year of high school thing and, all the sports that come with that.
And then our youngest, the baby of the family, is 13, just started middle school, which has been quite the adjustment for all of us. New routines, new everything.
Yeah, it's definitely a different dynamic with each one, isn't it? Like our 20-year-old, he's still very much involved in his college sports, so we're still traveling to see his games when we can.
Oh, absolutely. The road trips never end. And our 17-year-old, he's just really getting into his prime with his high school team. So weekends are, typically spent at the fields or the courts.
And then the 13-year-old, well, she's just starting to find her own athletic passions. It's really cool to see, but also, adds another layer to the schedule.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, our house is pretty much a constant, huddle of activity between school, practices, games, homework, friendships, college visits, you name it. It's never dull.
Never dull is an understatement, Nat. But, that's kind of why we wanted to do this, right? Like, we're right there in the thick of it with all of you. We're parents who are trying to balance everything, just like everyone else.
Exactly. And we've learned a few things over the years. Some things the hard way, some things through sheer luck, and some things we're still figuring out, honestly.
Yeah, we're definitely not experts, but we have, a pretty good handle on what it's like to navigate a full house, busy schedules, and trying to keep the relationship afloat, too. That's a whole other ballgame.
Oh, it truly is. And I think that's a big part of what we want to share. It's not just about, being parents or being sports fans. It's about being partners through all of it, supporting each other, even when one of us is, maybe a little too loud cheering from the stands.
Hey, I get passionate, you know that. But yeah, it's about communicating, it's about finding time for each other amidst the chaos, and it's about, keeping the fun in family, even when you're driving to another early morning tournament.
And I think for us, what makes our dynamic work is that we kind of balance each other out. Mason's, the big picture guy, the strategist.
And Natalie's the incredible organizer, the one who keeps all the plates spinning. Without her, I'm pretty sure we'd miss half our appointments. But yeah, we just want to offer a space where we can, talk openly about all of that. The wins, the losses, the moments when you just want to pull your hair out.
So that's us in a nutshell, folks. Just your average, everyday couple trying to, raise 3 great kids, stay sane, and maybe, just maybe, squeeze in a date night once in a while.
So speaking of trying to stay sane, that kind of brings us to why we even decided to, do this. Like, why a podcast?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Mason, we've had so many conversations, haven't we? Like in the car, after games, at 10 p.m. when we finally sit down after everyone else is asleep.
Yeah, just debriefing, right? About the game, about the kids, about, us. And sometimes just like exhaling after a really, really long day.
And I think it really started, for me anyway, when we were just constantly at some sporting event, like every single weekend, sometimes multiple times during the week too. Baseball, soccer, basketball, track, you name it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, our life is sports, pretty much. We're either watching our kids play, driving them to practice, or, talking about it. It just consumes so much of our time and energy.
And you see all these other parents there, right? On the sidelines, shivering in the cold or melting in the heat. And you start chatting. And you realize everyone's kind of going through the same exact thing. The early mornings, the late nights, the triumphs, the less triumphant moments where you just want to bury your face in your hands.
The good, the bad, the ugly cries on the sideline. And I'm not just talking about the kids, Nat. I've seen them all from the parents, honestly.
Exactly. And it just dawned on us, these conversations we're having, they're not just, for us, they're universal. They're so relatable. And we've learned so much just by honestly muddling through it ourselves for 2 decades.
Yeah, figuring out how to manage 3 different sports schedules for 3 different kids across different age groups while also, working full-time jobs that are pretty demanding too.
And trying to still, make dinner and keep the house somewhat organized and remember to pay the bills. Oh, and the laundry. So much laundry, Mason, from all those sports uniforms.
Don't even get me started on the laundry. But yeah, and don't forget date night, Nat. That's a crucial one. We actually have to schedule those now weeks in advance. Otherwise, they just don't happen.
Oh, tell me about it. But seriously, it's not just the logistics, right? It's the emotional side of it. How do you support your kid when they're struggling with a coach or when they're not getting playing time or when they lose a really, really big game that meant everything to them.
Or when they just flat out say, I don't want to play anymore. And you're like, but you've put so much time and effort and money into this.
Right. The internal struggle is real. And then there's the whole, how do we stay connected through all of this? Because, sometimes you just become a really efficient parenting team and you kind of forget you're also a couple, the people who actually fell in love.
Oh, that's a big one. I think that was a massive motivator for me. We'd find ourselves, talking about schedules and who's picking up whom and who's got what practice. And then suddenly an hour's gone by and we haven't actually talked to each other as Mason and Natalie, the couple. Just the co-managers of the household.
Exactly. It's oh, hey, remember us? The ones who actually chose to spend forever together before we had all these adorable little schedule destroyers?
Yeah, that couple. So we just realized we had a lot to say about navigating those waters. The family dynamics with multiple kids at different stages, the pressure of competitive sports, and just, frankly, keeping the spark alive when you're both utterly exhausted from cheering on the sidelines or driving carpool.
And we also, we love sharing our stories, the funny ones, the tough ones, the ones where we totally messed up. And we realized there was an opportunity to create a space, not just for us to share, but hopefully for listeners to feel, seen or to pick up a tip or two or just to know they're not alone in the chaos.
Yeah, totally. We've certainly learned from our own mistakes, and believe me, there have been a lot of them. And from, talking to other parents and couples who are also in the trenches. So we thought, why not bring those conversations from the sidelines or from our kitchen table to a wider audience?
It just felt like a natural fit, really. Our entire life revolves around our home, our kids and their sports, and our relationship, of course, is the absolute foundation of all of it. It's the bedrock.
Right. So the idea was, let's turn these daily huddles we have about everything from game strategy to whose turn it is to empty the dishwasher or sign the permission slip into something more. something structured, but still super candid and real, you know?
And that's really the core why behind Huddle at Home. It's about bringing those real unscripted conversations that happen, inside our home to you. It's about pulling back the curtain on what it's like to juggle it all, the good, the bad, the hilariously messy, and still hopefully come out smiling.
Yeah, and not just smiling, but thriving, or at least consistently trying to thrive. Because it's not always easy, is it, Nat? Let's be real.
Oh, no, it's definitely not always easy. Far from it sometimes. But it is so, so worth it. And we really just want to share our journey and, connect with others who are on a similar path. Share some laughs, maybe, some commiseration.
Exactly. So that's our big reason. We want to talk about the good stuff, the tough stuff, and everything in between, all through the unique lens of sports, family, and our relationship, our own little team dynamic.
Consider it our, family meeting, but with a microphone and a lot more listeners. Hopefully, that's the dream anyway.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the family meeting thing because that's actually like a huge part of, how we even landed on the name Huddle at Home.
Right. It clicked, didn't it? Because in sports, a huddle is where the team comes together, right? You get your strategy straight, you regroup, you encourage each other.
Exactly. It's that moment where everyone just gets on the same page. You're talking about what just happened, what's about to happen, what needs to change. It's like a quick, intense burst of communication.
And that's exactly what we're always doing at home, like before a big game or after a tough day, or even just planning the week's dinner menu, which, let's be honest, can feel like a full-on strategic planning session sometimes.
Oh, it absolutely can, especially with, 3 kids with completely different schedules and preferences, trying to coordinate carpools, practices, games, homework, dinner. It's a constant huddle. Like, okay, who's got what? What's the play here, team?
And the at-home part, that's obviously, our home, our family. But it's also about bringing those conversations, those insights, that strategy, that support, right to where you are in your home.
Yeah, it's about creating that kind of intimate, trusting space, like the conversations you have around your kitchen table or in your living room where you can really just be yourselves. No filter, just real talk about what it's like.
Because let's face it, a lot of our actual huddles happen in the kitchen while someone's grabbing a snack or in the hallway as we're all rushing out the door. It's not always, a formal sit down.
Right. Or on the drive to practice, which is honestly probably where 80% of our most significant family huddles happen. Those car ride conversations, they're gold.
So Huddle at Home just felt so perfect because it captures the essence of family, the dynamics of a team, and the constant need for communication and support within all of it, whether that's on the field, in the stands, or, just navigating daily life together.
It's about being a team within your own family, right? Supporting each other through the wins and the losses on and off the field because parenting, marriage, life, it's all a team sport, really.
Absolutely. And we wanted the podcast to feel like that, like you're just, joining us for one of our casual, unscripted huddles. Pull up a chair, grab a coffee, or, whatever you're drinking.
Exactly. We hope it feels like a really supportive, familiar space for anyone listening. Like you're part of our team, or you're just in a huddle with us, and we want to talk about everything that comes with that. The life stuff, the family stuff, and obviously a lot of the sports stuff, because that is undeniably a massive part of our lives.
It consumes us in the best way most of the time.
Mostly. So yeah, that's the playbook, if you will, behind the name. It's all about
connection, strategy, support, and just, real conversations in a real home. Our home.
Our home. And, speaking of what's coming up, the Huddle at Home playbook isn't just about why we're doing this, but also like what we're actually going to be talking about. We've got so much on the roster, so to speak.
Oh, so much. We really want this to be a place where we, dive deep into all the stuff that makes up our everyday, the good, the bad, the absolutely chaotic. So obviously, balancing busy schedules is like number one on our list.
Yeah, I mean, with 3 kids, all in different stages, different sports, different everything, it's a constant, calendar Jenga. We've got a 13-year-old, 17-year-old, and a 20-year-old, and their lives are just full, from school to practices to games to social lives to, our own work schedules. It's a lot.
It is a lot. And then navigating the complexities of team sports, oh my gosh, that could be like an entire season's worth of episodes on its own.
Totally. From the pressure, the travel teams, the college recruitment stuff with our oldest to, just dealing with the emotional roller coaster of wins and losses, good coaches, sometimes not so great coaches.
Right? And the sibling dynamics around all of that too, like when one kid's team is doing great and another's is having a tough season, or, the differences in commitment levels, that's definitely something we're going to get into. And, it's not just about the kids and their schedules or their sports. It's also about us. Like, how do we, Natalie and I, maintain a strong couples bond amidst all of that?
That's a huge one, Mason, because, it's easy to get lost in the shuffle of just being parents or coaches or taxi drivers or chefs or whatever. So prioritizing our relationship, making time for each other, or, trying to find time, that's like a constant challenge, but it's so important.
Yeah, we've definitely got some stories about that, some successes, some learning experiences. We'll be sharing those and maybe some tips that have actually worked for us, even if they're, tiny victories. And then just the general handling of family challenges, because it's not always, sunshine and rainbows. We're a normal family. We have our moments.
Oh, we have our moments, sibling rivalries, different personalities, disagreements, figuring out screen time with a teenager who thinks she knows everything.
Right. And, just all the big life transitions. Like our oldest is 20 now. So we've been through the whole college application process, the leaving home thing. That's a massive shift. And our 17-year-old is right behind him.
Yeah, it's a lot of change. And figuring out how to support them through it while also maintaining our sanity and, keeping the family unit strong. It's a continuous learning process.
Absolutely. So we'll be talking about all of that and so much more. Like, we want to hear from you guys, too, about your huddles at home, your challenges, your victories.
We do. We want this to be a conversation, not just us talking at you. We're really excited to build this community around Huddle at Home and just, share what we've learned and are still learning about life, family, and sports.
Yeah, because, it's not perfect, but it's our huddle and we're navigating it together. And we're hoping to make your huddle a little bit easier, or at least feel a little less alone in it all. Well, that brings us to the end of our very first episode of Huddle at Home, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Seriously, we really appreciate you taking the time to listen.
Yeah, it means a lot to us that you're here for this inaugural Huddle. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, please make sure you subscribe to Huddle at Home wherever you get your podcasts.
And also follow us on social media. We're going to be pretty active there, sharing behind-the-scenes stuff, asking questions, just, connecting with all of you. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at Huddle at Home Podcast.
That's right. And we are just so excited to keep these conversations going, dive into all those topics we mentioned, and honestly, just keep sharing our own journey, the ups, the downs, the constant figuring it out.
Absolutely. We've got so many more insights, stories, and probably a few more embarrassing anecdotes to share in future episodes. So until next time, from our huddle to yours, thanks again for tuning in.
See you next time, everyone.